teaching you how to Japada in style.
Hiya, welcome to the Japada pod. My name is Mololuwa, and you know what we do over here? We turn Jakwa into Japada, and we do it in style. You've already, I haven't even said hello to you yet. Hi, mother.
Hi, daughter.
What's your name?
My name is still Atinuke.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad that it's still Atinuke.
And yours?
They already know my name is Mololuwa. If you guys don't, I actually get quite a lot that people are like, one thing that they find really interesting is every time I introduce myself on the podcast, they're like, the way you say your name.
Yeah, they're so proud of it.
Yeah, they're like, the way you say it's so Yoruba. I'm just like, yeah, because
That's it. You're quite particular about your name, though.
She is.
Yeah.
Lola is.
yeah.
I think maybe that would have come from
Well, of course.
different experiences. No, of course, different experiences. Because at some point you would have maybe you could
Preferred
have,
it shorter, yeah.
shorter. But at some point you just embrace that your name, your identity, and everything, and you're like, it has to be Mololuwa or nothing.
Obviously, like, you and dad helped by naming me that and not giving me any English name. Do you get so
But
like
you didn't get to.
you either
Molly.
Thank
No.
you. You get so like it's not like I had a middle name that I could just say, call me.
this, yeah.
No, but it could have been shortened
No,
because
yeah,
I remember.
yeah.
You remember your primary
They
school?
used to call me
Because at home,
Yes.
our pet kind of shortened name was Molos.
Yeah.
So in primary school, only for when she was going to secondary school, and it was a boarding school.
Yeah.
And they were supposed to send her reference, it's kind of a reference that they
from
were
primary
writing.
school,
Yeah.
yeah.
And instead of writing Mololuwa as her name, they wrote Molos.
Really?
That was when no. So this thing,
It's
if
really
we don't,
sticking, yeah.
So we had to. So from that point onward, when she got to secondary school, they're like, it's Mololuwa, or you are not
That's
shortening it.
Yeah.
And I think she just eventually,
Yeah, because I remember she's always been like particular about her name. Like my
she
name
wears
is not
it
Mo.
like a badge, honestly.
Like,
It's
say
as
my
if
full
you have
name.
to.
Yeah. And to be honest, everyone does end up saying it
Yeah.
eventually.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people that like have names similar to yours and they just go by Mo.
Yeah.
Like they don't go by their full name. Yeah.
I also do think though, I think I
That's
had a time where I was a
also
bit
understandable.
strict.
Yeah.
Now I'm a bit more, because I
Liberal.
understand that it's like a form of endearment when people shorten your name, but you never know, because some people are just disrespectful.
Yeah. Some people are just lazy.
Maybe I think it's more lazy than disrespectful, though.
Yeah.
I think it's just it's more lazy than, because number one, when you say Mololuwa, they're like
The
how do
L's
I-
and the
exactly
Yeah.
how is
Yeah.
it? So they're like
Let me just
oh
go
my
back.
goodness.
Make it easier for myself.
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't think I think disrespect comes where you're meeting someone for the first time and you're saying, what can I call you for short?
Yeah, exactly. Like
That's
if I didn't tell
rude.
you
Yeah.
to shorten my name, don't shorten my name.
Yeah, that's rude. The first time, I think, is a bit rude. Anyways, obviously the Diaspora Diaries are in full swing. So we are here.
Yes.
And
yes,
man,
yes.
we are here not just by ourselves, as you could tell already.
Mm.
Girl, we have a special guest, and this one is actually special to
Very
me.
special guests.
Yes, this one is very special to me, and she's just the right person to tell us what life is really like in the African diaspora. As a British-Nigerian that you are. As the British-Nigerian that you are. I'm going to allow her to...
Maybe you are making an assumption,
Okay, she might have been from other places.
Okay. It's not everybody that identifies as Nigerian now.
Okay.
So maybe we need to ask
Kemi
does she
is
still
catching us sub.
I identify as British Nigerian.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to allow her then. Let me just allow her to introduce herself before I identify somebody. But we have a beautiful guest in the building, in and out, I must say. Fine girl.
No pimples.
Tell us about you. Introduce yourself.
Hi everyone. My name is Ireti. Iretioluwa. If I'm going by full names. My name is Iretioluwa. I'm a social impact consultant, and I moved back to London just about over a year ago now. I lived in Nigeria for just under 3 years after graduating uni. I worked at the British Deputy High Commission in Lagos, Nigeria, whilst I was there, and I had an amazing time. And that's me.
Yeah, honestly, I think you can see now why she's the kind of
She's
person
right,
we should be
yeah,
speaking
the
to.
kind of person to be on the couch.
Yeah. So if you haven't already subscribed and given us 5 stars, just do it in advance.
Do it.
Yes, in advance,
advance.
because it's going to
It's
be
going
an
to-
interesting.
It's going to be worth it. I promise you that.
Yeah.
I promise you that. Okay, cool. Ireti, I think you'll find out why this is special to me, or maybe I should just say now. So Ireti was one of my big inspirations. As you guys know, for me going back to the NYSC, like I literally was, especially with the registration process, like I was messaging her. In fact, voice notes. I still have voice notes that you sent to me, like explaining like, what I need to do, the documents I need to have, what camp is like, and somebody that actually stayed the course, like she went to camp and that kind of stuff. Like, do you get to not somebody that kind of chickened out of the full experience. So very, very like special one to me. But we're going to break the figurative ice.
Okay.
Yeah.
With just a few statements. So how it's going to work is that I'm going to say some like incomplete phrases and you're just going to complete them with the first word that comes to your mind.
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay.
So don't think about it too much.
Just
the first word, yeah?
Okay.
Let it be as organic as possible. All right, cool. So first, when I first landed in Lagos, I was shocked to discover.
I was shocked to discover how spontaneous people were.
People, I remember you saying this to me.
People are very spontaneous. So I think in London, like before you make plans with someone, you usually make plans in advance. You'd say, let's do this in 2-3 weeks. Like everything is kind of like in the diary. Like you wouldn't really like have last minute plans as much. But in Lagos, like everyone is just like, do you want to go out for drinks in like an hour or 2 hours? It's very like spontaneous. And I used to think of it as like disrespectful initially. I thought, like you just thought of me now. Like you had these plans ages ago and you just last minute decided to invite me. But then I slowly began to realize that no, people are actually just quite spontaneous and these plans actually just existed like 20 seconds ago and I'm now being informed about them. So I think that was one of my like shocks when I moved.
I think I like that perspective that you are bringing into the mix, because quite a number of us still feel that way that you used to feel. And it's good to know that at least somebody that has kind of stayed there now realize that it's not that it's intentional, that they want to be disrespectful. That's just how they are.
Just how things happen.
Because some of us will think, everybody plans. They must have planned this. They must have thought through this. But the truth is, sometimes not most of the time. I think 8 out of 10 times they haven't.
Yeah, they haven't.
And that's why you could plan a party for, let's say, 10. And you've told your 10 friends and your 10 friends will come up with maybe an next A plus one. Because the plus one might be just the last hour that they are coming. I'm actually on my way to, what are you doing? Are you doing anything?
Let's go together.
Okay, let's go.
Literally.
And to you might think, I invited just one. Why are you coming with two? But they're just, yes.
Yep.
I think that is so true.
Yeah.
That is so true.
Yeah. Okay, the second one, dating in Lagos is?
Interesting.
Okay.
That's what I would say. I would say it's interesting. I say this to a lot of people that I think dating in Lagos, you tend to meet more people than you would in London, but then it's about the kind of people you're meeting. Are they
what does that mean?
Like, are they good people? Or maybe they're not even bad, but like they're probably not really what you want. Well, what I was wanting anyway. So
how are they not bad?
Like, so I feel like someone doesn't have to be bad to not be good for you. Like, you cannot be like my perfect match, or you might not be like the best person for me. Doesn't mean you're a bad person. Someone else will see you and you're their cup of tea, but you might not be mine.
So which kind of tea were you experiencing in Lagos?
It wasn't Earl Grey.
PG tips, no.
I don't know what it was.
It wasn't.
I think
I
didn't have like any particular like bad experiences, like really bad experiences dating in Lagos. But I would say like I met a number of people, but I never really met anyone that I thought, like this could work.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. In like 3 years, that's
it is possible. And I think that might speak to, I don't know whether I want to put it on, is it patriarchal? Not really patriarchal society, because I think every boy or young man or man feels entitled to any woman they see, regardless of the level.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that they feel they can. Yeah, I can
Yeah,
speak to you
people
now.
just,
Are you not?
like,
Are you
talk
not
to
just
you.
a woman?
Yeah,
know?
and you just think sometimes,
I think
like,
it's more from coming from
when
that
you
angle, yeah.
when you look at the two of us, like, do you really think that
well, that what's
anything
the-
could come out of this? Sometimes I'm just wondering, like, why did you even?
I think
Why
it's
did you
I think
bother?
it's yeah. Because even I don't know whether you've had experience, whether you ever had experience with public transport when you were there.
Not
You know,
really.
even the
bus
they call it? The
conductors.
bus conductor.
Doctor, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
not
They'll just be
it's
like,
not disrespect to
what
them,
be you
but
now?
they just
Exactly.
exactly, exactly. That's
Yeah.
what I maybe that's why.
Yep.
Fair enough. I mean, the society encourages that, but I don't want to sit here and say like the majority of men are like that, because I'm hoping that, especially people in our generation, I'm hoping that there's a bit more open-mindedness and like not even open-mindedness, like sensible people.
Yeah, I mean, I do think
broken out of that.
sensible people exist.
Yeah.
Whether you meet them or not. It's another thing.
Ireti is coming on you below. I'm so sorry about that. So I tried. Okay, cool. The last
And
one.
for someone like her that traveled,
Yeah.
I want to believe you traveled within Nigeria.
Yeah,
right?
I did.
Yeah, clearly she must have met
Yeah.
different.
variety of-
Yeah.
No, but, okay, you have to tell us a story, because I can't, like, the way you're saying
The way
it,
you-
yeah,
the way she-
that was at
No, I'm
least
just
one
saying,
story.
like, I'm thinking about the fact that, like, when I went, like, outside of Lagos, like, I did actually have encounters with people, and I just thought to myself, what is happening and why is this happening? But yeah.
Can you
you
give?
do- yeah.
Can you?
Okay, I can give one story,
Yeah,
actually. This was, like, I want to say, like, I think 2013, and I went to Asaba for my friend's mom's 50th birthday, and we went, so it was like my friend and then two other friends that were going to the party with her. So we went to the mall to get like a gift for her mom, because we didn't buy one in Lagos. So we went to like Ezenza to get perfume. So we're in the store, and then these guys just keep following us around the store and everything. And then he starts talking to me and my friend. And like, you know, when someone is just like lying to your face. So he goes how like he was speaking to me, and then he was like, oh, like, you have an accent, like, where's your accent from? I was telling him, oh, like, I used to live in the UK, I just moved to Nigeria, blah blah blah. And then he goes, oh, actually, like, he was born in Germany, but he lived in the US or something like that. Like, and I was just thinking, okay.
And you can clearly
Now I can clearly tell
That Igbo
that,
accent is
like,
strong.
this is just
That Igbo
not.
accent has not been
This
to
is
America.
not true. Like, and he was following us all around to the point where we left the store. I went to like a salon to get my hair washed. He followed me to the salon. I was sitting in the chair. The hairdresser, he was still talking to me. I was thinking, oh my God, like, is he ever gonna leave?
because he's seen
Literally.
this is a gold.
And
now,
then I
a
gave
cat-
him,
a cat.
he was like, oh, can I have your number? He kept pestering for my number. I said, okay, let me just give him my number. Like, I don't actually have to like speak to him or anything after. I gave him my number. And then later, like, I didn't even have his. So he called me, like, he didn't even call me. He called me like months later, maybe like 3-4 months later. And he was like, oh, how are you? You know when someone's talking to you, like, you should have their number saved. I was like, I don't even remember. He was like, it's Junior. I was like, who the hell is Junior? And then he was like, from Asaba. I was like, what? Like, I even forgot that this person exists.
But like, after 3 months is cheap.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I was just
The
like,
heck?
huh?
Yeah.
Like, what? And then I told him, please, like, you know, don't call me again. And then he would like get new numbers.
to call you again.
I'm not joking. Like every like couple of months or every like 1 month, he would call me with a different number. He'd be like, please don't cut the phone, just talk to me. Thinking, what? Like, we met for like how many minutes in the mall? Like, he did this for like maybe till the end of 2023 or end of 2020. Like, it was a long time.
Wow.
It was a long time. I was
The
thinking to
heck?
myself, yeah.
It was just determined.
Yeah. It was really weird. And that was when I stopped giving out my number to like random people. Like, I thought if I don't want to give you my number, I'm just not gonna. Yeah, because what can you do to me? That was
That sounds like a stalking.
Yeah, it was actually.
Where are you watching us from? Yes. Canada, Nigeria, India, Australia. Yes, you. I'm talking to you. Have you subscribed? 80% are watching without subscribing. Should I be begging? Should I go the Nigerian style and go on my knees to say, please? So please subscribe, like, share, and let the conversation continue in the comment section. So let's go back to the video.
Okay, let's do one more. The last one is the moment I realized I wasn't leaving Nigeria after NYSC was.
I don't know. I don't know if it was a particular moment.
Okay.
But I remember, like, I was in my room and I thought to myself, like, I think it was around, like, May. Because I had moved to Lagos in September of 2021. And I think it was around May of 2022. And I was thinking to myself, I don't actually want to go back yet. Because I had a job lined up. I had a graduate job that was supposed to start in September. And I was like, I really don't want to go back. Like, I really want like a job that would allow me to stay, because I can't just stay if I don't have anything I'm doing when I already have a job lined up in London. So I was like, I really wanted the job, and I was literally like, God, please. I had applied for something and I hadn't like gotten like confirmation on it yet. And then eventually I did get that job, and that was like my clear sign to stay. But I think I remember it was around like that May time. I was like, I don't want to go back here. I don't feel like I've had the experience that I wanted to have, because I think when I moved, it was a bit slow in terms of like really integrating and getting into things and really starting to enjoy Lagos. So I feel like if I had left when I was supposed to, I would have had my story would be completely different. Like I wouldn't be able to tell the same story or have the same like overall experience, because a lot of the things that I did, a lot of the experiences that I had wasn't in the first like 6 months I moved there. So
clearly you had expectations, you had what you wanted to achieve. Maybe in experience before you leave. Maybe that will bring us back to why did you make that decision to
move to Nigeria?
To even go to Nigeria for NYSC?
I think I had this mindset like when I was in uni that I was going to move to Nigeria when I was 30. Like I just thought, when I'm 30, I'm going to move to Nigeria. Like, like I would have worked for a couple of years, made some money, then I can go to Nigeria and work in Nigeria.
Okay.
But then I thought to myself, like, I haven't been to Nigeria, because before I moved to Nigeria in 2021, I hadn't been to Nigeria since 2013. So I thought to myself, that's a long time. Like for me to just upend my life and move at 30, like surely I should go and have a taste before. And I thought, when I graduate from uni, I have that time, because I did a placement year, and when they were offering me the full-time position after, I told them that can I have an extra gap year, and they gave that to me. So I thought I can use that, go to Nigeria, do my NYSC, see what it's like, and know if I would actually want to come back later down the line. So that was kind of what it was for me. It was just like 1 year, test the waters, see what Nigeria is like, because I often feel that a lot of times, like especially when you're born in the diaspora, you feel like this is where you have to live, because this is where I was born. Like I was born in London, I'll stay in London. But for me, I always felt like you should have an active choice in choosing your forever home. And it could be Nigeria, it could even be another country. It could be Ghana, it could be Switzerland, it could be anywhere. But like you can't just say, I was born here.
Put in a place where
you should actively choose where. And I wanted to know if Nigeria was going to be that place for me. So I said, let me move and see what it's like.
Wow.
So it's vision 30. Is this still?
Actually, now I don't know. Now I don't. But I would say that, like, from my experience, there's no reason why I wouldn't go back to Nigeria. Like, I loved it. But now I'm like to myself, there's actually still more out there that I would love to try. I'd love to live in, like, maybe East Africa or, like, another West African country or, like, another part of the world, and just have, like, a similar experience of, like, living away from home and seeing what that's like.
Yeah, I see your point. Yeah. No, the truth is I see her point. So I think wasn't there somebody on this pod that was saying something like, that he or she admired my generation because it takes courage to migrate. It takes courage to relocate.
It
that
does.
Most of the younger generation don't have that.
Yeah, a lot of people don't do that. Yeah.
And they need to, so that they need to uproot themselves from wherever they are.
It teaches you so much about yourself.
so that you go to other places.
But it can be quite scary.
It can be, but which is why you have to do your research. And you have to plan. Like, I think before I went to Nigeria, I can't tell you
the number
of YouTube videos I was watching. I was like, okay, because I knew I was going to go to NYSC. I knew I was going to stay in camp. I probably watched more than 30 videos of people's vlogs for NYSC. I did a lot of reading. I joined so many different group chats. Like, I was prepared, because one thing about me is if I'm going to do something that people are telling me, why are you doing this? I need to be prepared for whatever is coming. Even like thinking about moving to Lagos, I started watching like YouTubers or vloggers in Lagos, like just seeing their lifestyle, seeing what Lagos was like understanding like, okay, where would I do my grocery shopping, where would I do that, thinking of those kinds of things like that would practically help me like ease in was so useful for me. Because when I went, even though like it was still quite overwhelming moving regardless, if you have that bank of information, you have that knowledge, it makes it a lot easier. And you have more realistic expectations of where it is that you're going to.
And funny enough, people that often, not most of the people that actually migrate from Africa to the West, they don't do as much of that research. And yes, they take the
and that's something I think too as well.
And I think the younger generation needs to they need
like
to.
A lot of people that even come from Nigeria, because I remember I used to speak at this like education event where it was like for people that were coming from Nigeria to universities in the UK, and I always talk about like my uni experience, and I always tell people like, do your research, understand what is available in that town, understand what that uni has to offer. A lot of people just go and say, I want to do this course, what is the cheapest university? They just apply, they just go there. You're going to a town that's in the middle of nowhere, you don't even know anybody there, you haven't done any research of what it's like to live there, you haven't like watched TikToks or YouTube videos of people living in that place, like you don't understand anything about the place you're stepping into. Of course, when you go there, you could fall into depression because you're literally like in shock. Like you have no idea about where you're going into. So I always tell people, research is so important because at least it gives you a view of what you're stepping into. So you're not completely surprised when you enter that situation.
It does make sense. I think with regards to Africa or maybe Nigeria for us more specifically, though, people that, like you said, were born maybe in the West and moving back, first of all, I don't know it's becoming more popular now that people are going back. Obviously things like Dirty December and stuff are facilitating.
I have thoughts on that, by the
way. On what, Dirty December? Why, what is it?
I think a lot of people, so I don't know how to put it, I think people shouldn't think about Dirty December as a reason why they want to move back, because a lot of people go to Nigeria. Like I personally, Dirty December is my worst time in Lagos. I'm not even joking. Like the last December I spent in Lagos, I didn't spend Christmas there because I was just like, I'm not doing this again. It's so packed.
You know why? Because you have spent
the entire year.
So you know how
I know how normal, exactly. And in December it's like
chaos.
It's literally chaotic. It's not even a real time to like experience
but it's beautiful.
Lagos.
It's beautiful chaos, to be honest.
It's too much chaos for me. It's too much. I like peace. I don't like traffic. And you find traffic everywhere in December.
Because there are lots of people that come back. That's why.
It's crazy.
And for some reason, most of them are on the road.
Everyone is out.
Everybody
like
are
it's
on the road.
fun. Don't get me wrong, it's a great time. But I just feel like for me, like if you're thinking of moving to Nigeria and you're thinking, I want to go before to see what it's like, I think it's very important to go like off season. So like,
but I think different seasons.
Different seasons. I feel like Dirty December is like any other season, just more intense. Right? But I feel like, because I think also like there's people that have moved to Nigeria based on, oh my God, I went in December and it was so much fun, because every other person is around, even people that don't live there, you have more community, you enjoy it. But when you go off season, it's like all your friends are not there. Do you still want to live here? Do you know what I mean? Like it's a bit more realistic. Like I didn't even go to Nigeria before. I didn't have like a trial or a tester. I just decided to go.
We're still going to talk about that because you need to walk us through that journey. How because I'm sure there are some people that are watching and maybe they want to do that thing, and also they don't have relationship or connect people, there, so they might be able to get one or two things from you.
But that wasn't the case for your family lived there.
I have family that lived there.
But at the same time, she said the last time she was there was
2013.
7 or 8 years prior. So at least there are some people too.
But so the people that how did you go about it then? Let's just hear it in terms of...
First of all, where were you born?
I was born in London.
And you lived here up until?
No, so I was born in London. I lived here till I was like 5, 6. Then I moved to Nigeria.
Okay.
Then I moved back when I was about like 12. And then I'd been here like 12, 13 and been here since.
Okay.
So that 2013 was when I moved.
Have that background.
When I moved back, and then I hadn't been to Nigeria since then.
Oh, since you moved back.
Yeah.
All right, I see. So then, how did you like walk us through the process of deciding to move back? Like with your parents, what did they say?
Yeah,
and how
the
did
first
you sort
time
out,
you told.
how did you sort out like moving?
So initially, like my mom was like, yeah. My mom was quite excited for me to move back, but that's because my mom goes to Nigeria like a bit, like quite often.
Okay.
So sometimes she's there, sometimes she's here. So she was like, at least like someone's gonna be there. And then my dad was just like, why? Like, don't you want to start working? Like, what's in Nigeria? Da, 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 da. But I think eventually he kind of like got on board. But initially he was more so like, do you really want to go? Are you sure about this? And I was like, yeah, I've kind of thought about it for a while. Like I knew I wanted to do it from like placement year of uni. Like I already knew that this was what I wanted to do. So I just thought, why not? So that was kind of like the first kind of hurdle. And then I started planning towards like my NYSC, like what I was going to do. I tried to figure out, when do I need to apply? When do I need to leave? I knew I was going to go in September because I was doing an internship that finished in August.
Okay.
And I wanted like a bit of a break, like see friends and everything before I moved back. So I did that, and then I moved to Lagos, and then I applied for NYSC. But I think in terms of my research process, it was just a lot of like consuming a lot of information. Like I was watching a lot of vlogs.
And how long did that take you, or did you start?
I don't know. I can't say exactly when I started, but from when I started thinking about it, and that's what I do with most things. From when I start thinking about it, I just start like consuming content in relation to that. Obviously, it became a bit more intense closer to the time when I was moving. But prior to that, I would just start watching people's vlogs. I started following a lot of like Nigerian creators and vloggers and influencers, and just like trying to see like what the lifestyle was like. And that was the bulk of my research, just like seeing what people are doing, watching NYSC videos, knowing what I wanted to do, trying to have an idea of, okay, when I go to Nigeria, I knew that I wanted to travel out of Lagos, because I thought if I'm going to spend my time in Lagos, if I'm going to spend my time in Nigeria, I don't want to just stay in Lagos, because that's another bubble that people like fall into, of like, I'm in Nigeria. But like there's so much more. So I didn't want to do that as well. So I tried to think, okay, where are the places I can go and stuff like that. But I think mainly like my research process was literally just like watching a lot of YouTube. Like I was watching a lot of Nigerian vlogs, Lagos vlogs. Like I remember there's this YouTuber called Kamsi and Nami. I don't know if I'm pronouncing.
Oh, the girl that she's kind of young.
Yeah, she's like same age, as us, maybe like a year or so older.
Yeah.
And she had moved from Enugu to Lagos, and she started doing these vlogs on like Lagos living. So I used to watch a lot of her Lagos living vlogs, because obviously even though she was moving within Nigeria, she was still showing.
Was still a different experience.
Exactly, it was still a different experience. So like her vlogs were like really useful, just seeing like what life is like in Lagos, and also from her perspective as someone that just moved there. So I watched a lot of her videos. I watched so many different NYSC videos. I even like some people that I watched their videos, I would reach out to them on Instagram to ask them specific questions and stuff like that. So that was pretty much how I gathered a lot of my info.
So with the travel, for example, as one of the big things you wanted to do within Nigeria, did you have friends in Nigeria that you already knew that, okay, cool, I'm going to do
No.
this?
So like even the first time I took a trip outside of Lagos, like that wasn't like with family or something. It was actually just with like a tour agency, and I didn't go with anyone I knew. It was all strangers.
Wow. So they are tour agents.
They are tour agencies.
You know, these are the things that many people are not aware of.
And that was how I found out about that, was
Nigeria.
from Instagram.
Wow.
So like a lot of the things that I was.
I can't lie, it's only someone like you that will go on
Risk
something
it,
like
right?
yes.
Risk it,
I found out a
It's
lot.
an
But
Ireti that.
No,
it's
but the
an
truth.
Ireti.
Yeah,
that
but
would
the
go on
truth
a
is
trip
that
with
that's what
strangers
we
in
do.
Nigeria.
But that's what we do for other countries. So
Yeah.
why not Nigeria?
Oh, I guess
Exactly.
some people, not me, Sha.
Yeah.
Hi, family. I'm going to go the British style because, I wanted to ask you to subscribe, please. Please, could you subscribe? Please, could you like? Could you comment? Could you leave us a 5-star rating if you're listening? Could you share the video as well? Would that be okay? Yeah? Can you do that for me? Thank you so much. Continue to enjoy the rest of the video.
I think like there's a lot of like people that I thought I just see people going. I'm like, I didn't even know anyone personally that had gone on their trips. I just saw them and I thought, oh, this looks nice. I want to go. So I think the first one I did was, it wasn't like an overnight trip. It was a day trip to Abeokuta. That was the first one I did. I think at the time, like I can't remember how much it was. This was like 2022. It was probably like, I'm sure it was like maybe like 20K, 15K.
With a group of people, right?
With a group of people. And we went with the train. We did like a tour of like the city for the day, and then we came back. And that was really nice. And I think the next trip I did was Oshogbo, and that was like a weekend trip. That was also really nice. That was in like 2022 as well. Also with a group, but this time one of my friends came, but like everybody else was like people that I hadn't met before, and that was a really good trip. Those were like the first two, like, and I think after that I didn't do any other like. Actually, no, we did the IITA one, the Ibadan one in 2024. But after that, I think all the ones in between were just like with friends. I went to Abuja a couple of times, but I did go to Abuja to meet a friend because I have friends that live there and family that live there, and I used to go there for work as well sometimes. But yeah, no.
So how many other places did you go to apart from Lagos? Because most of the time when people are talking about Nigerian experience, it's Lagos experience, really.
It's really just Lagos.
Yeah, it's just Lagos.
Abeokuta,
I went to Abeokuta, Oshogbo. I obviously went to Ibadan together. I've been to Ondo. I went there for a wedding. I went to Asaba for a birthday party. Then where else did I go?
Did Abuja.
I did Abuja a couple of times. I did Abuja weddings, so many weddings, like work. Where else did I go?
Did you ever go to Delta? Because you're from
I went to Asaba. Yeah,
That's
Asaba is in
That's
Delta.
Asaba.
Yeah, I went to Asaba.
Is that where you're from?
Yeah, my mom's side of the family is from Delta, so I went to, but not actually Asaba. I actually never been to Asaba before.
That was the first time.
I went.
And did you go to families?
No, I just went to my friend's house, and then we went for her mom's birthday. I went to Abia as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for a wedding. Wow. Yeah.
That's 8.
Yeah, I think that was it within Nigeria.
For the time, so I can tell you there's some people that have lived in that Lagos for more than 20 years.
Yeah,
that they haven't even been to Abeokuta. That is the closest.
Yeah, it's really close, and it's not far at all.
And it's a shame though.
It is, and there's so much more you can see. I remember I actually forgot to mention this. I went to somewhere else in Ibadan. I went to Oyo Town. And I went with, so I was part of this travel society. I'm part of the travel society called the Nigerian Field Society. Nigerian Field Society. And essentially they used to organize trips like across Nigeria and West Africa. So we went on this like excursion to Oyo Town, and we had like a tour guide who was like the cultural ambassador to the Alafin, and she basically gave us like a tour of the town. When we got there, we went to greet the Basharu, then we went into the palace. We got a tour of the palace. We went to different like sites across Oyo Town that they're trying to turn into UNESCO heritage sites. It was really, really, really nice. And I was just thinking to myself, like, in fact, that trip, I was the only black person in the group.
Are you kidding me?
Not joking. In Nigeria, I was the only black person in the group. Everybody else was white. Yeah.
And that was organized by Nigerian Field
Nigerian Field Society in Nigeria.
There you go.
Yeah, I was the only black person.
I don't know. We need to do more about marketing Nigeria and branding and didn't brand Nigeria.
I think I realized that people don't explore Nigeria, like, because when I went to Erinjesha Waterfalls, I remember the driver that took us there, he was asking us, this was like all of us were black women, and he was like, oh, like, why are we here? We're like, oh, we came from Lagos. He was like, we came from Lagos to see the waterfall. And we're like, yeah. He was like, that he's lived here all his life, he's never been there. He just comes and he drops people here, but he's never been inside. That is
so true. The IITA that you guys said you went to, that was the time that I went there, and the boat driver that took me there, he said, I'm 38 years old. I was born here.
Yeah.
And I've lived all my life there. He said, I didn't know this kind of place exists.
Yeah.
Ibadan.
Literally. It's crazy.
Not outside Ibadan. It's in Ibadan.
It's crazy how much people don't know. Like, there's even within Lagos, there are places that you can explore that's outside of just like going to a restaurant or whatever. Like, there's so much to do within Lagos, and people still don't know about that, so don't do that. So you have like a very, like, I don't know, like very like not as rich of an experience as you can have, when living in Nigeria.
So I see we are not that. I don't know whether is it identity aware or I don't know. We are not
just see finish. I feel like where you're.
I don't think it's about
see
finish.
You don't really think anything of
No,
it.
but okay, for those that are living here in London, they still go places. They might not go to everywhere.
Yeah,
but they will still go out.
There's a different experience being a tourist versus being
definitely.
Yeah.
And maybe the education system too. For instance, that person that you said he's lived all his life there and he's never been. You would have expected that if the person went through
school, they would have done a school trip.
They should have been school trip, excursion, things like that to those places. Yeah. So they're aware.
I guess it's just we need to take what is ours as ours.
Yeah.
Just really
and it's as if until we have foreigners come and validate, that's when we now start embracing.
It's true.
Yeah, I don't know why. Because see the trip that you said you went to and you were the only.
I was the only one.
Like
it was. I didn't even think about it until I saw. I think I saw the picture. I was like, wait, it's just me.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask about something, especially as somebody that's of dual nationality.
Yeah.
A lot of people, maybe within our generation more so, deal with this like thing where it's like I don't quite fit in here, but I also don't quite fit in there.
Yeah.
And so it's like, am I too African or not African enough?
Yeah, this is a very interesting one for me because obviously I've had a situation where when I was younger I lived in Nigeria and then I came back to the UK. And I remember like when I moved to Nigeria when I was like 5, 6, I forget how old I was now. And people used to make fun of my accent. People used to make fun of my British accent when I was living in Nigeria. So I didn't want to have a British accent because I didn't want people to make fun of me. And then when I came back to the UK, I had a Nigerian accent and people were making fun of my Nigerian accent. And I was like, where am I actually going to win? So you have that dichotomy of like, am I British? Am I Nigerian? Like, what am I? And which is why I feel like my perfect, like what I used to encapsulate my identity is British Nigerian. Because I think there's a difference between identifying, and I don't know if this is a general thing, but this is my own perspective. There's a difference between identifying as British Nigerian and Black British. Because I think for me, there's a distinct Black British culture. And I think because I spent a couple of my formative years in Nigeria, I don't particularly identify with Black British culture in a way that some people that have grown up here and have been part of that culture in a way identify with. I would say I'm also identify with being British Nigerian, which is just being a Nigerian who is also British. And it's very different from like being Black British because there's a subculture of being Black British that I don't feel like I'm a part of or I have personally experienced.
I think you're right actually.
Why would, really?
Yeah.
At least within our generation.
So what would you say are the features or something that is unique
that's different?
Different.
I don't know, like I just feel like sometimes when I'm around people that are like very Black British, I feel like an outsider.
They're not cultured.
Like it's people that might not really like. So
it's people that I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but it's people that at least back again when we were growing up, people that put the Nigerian flag in their bio and it's Nigerian Independence Day, 1st of October, and all you're hearing is jollof rice.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's just very superficial.
They don't really know.
They're not actually
anything.
cultured.
Yeah, they're not.
There are
actually
people
cultured.
that would hear, for example, a Nigerian accent and start laughing. What's funny?
Exactly.
They're not cultured. They just pretend. They just identify with the cool things.
Yeah. And it's more so. It's not even really about like a specific cultural identity. It's just more so about like Blackness and being Black in Britain as opposed to being from a specific culture, which I think is a very different like experience sometimes. So I think that's kind of how like I feel about it. And it's a weird place to be because like when you're in Nigeria, but I think in Nigeria I would say that generally when you mix with people a bit more, I feel less othered than I do feel like here. Because like you always like, I don't know, like people will say it, but like it doesn't really mean anything. It's like okay, but like it's like okay,
that
whatever.
Acceptance is still there,
it's
but
still
they just
there,
need to qualify
they
you.
will just say
they just need to qualify
exactly.
you.
But like it doesn't really mean much. It's just like they're just gonna say it.
They'll still do what they would need to do with
exactly.
you.
So That's kind of how I feel
That's a
about
very
that.
good answer. I think that Black British versus British Nigerian or British whatever, wherever you're from in Africa, thing, that distinction explains it. I think summarizes it really perfectly. Honestly, I feel like I wish we had more time to speak to you, but
she spent 3 years, almost 3 years.
Yeah.
So what would you really say?
It's like my key takeaways.
Yes.
In like almost 3 years in Nigeria,
Almost 3 years as an adult.
Yeah,
as an adult. I think what I would say is like go with an open mind. I think a lot of times people have this fixed idea of what Nigeria is like or what Nigeria is supposed to be like. So in a way, you're kind of perpetuating like bad stereotypes, self-fulfilling prophecies, like, oh, like I can't do this in Nigeria without knowing somebody. Like there are actually things that you can do by yourself. Like you don't need to know anybody, like, because and as much as Nigeria is not a perfect country, Nigeria is actually changing and things are being done differently in some places. And if you don't like embrace that, you're continuing to perpetuate the narrative that you have to know someone to do things. So I think go to places where you're an open mind and try to actually follow like due process. I think also learn that respect is very important. Like I think as someone that's like, you know, coming from the UK, like you might not be used to like greeting strangers or random people. You just feel like, oh, I just speak to people I know. Like there's a very big like respect culture, and I think it's interesting that like people complain about how, oh, that's a Nigerian thing, people need to come to the real world or whatever. But when you go to other countries, you actually think about, oh, how do they behave there, and you adapt to that behavior. Like why don't you do the same in Nigeria? This is the cultural nuance of the place that you're in, and you need to basically reflect that behavior. Like even when I remember when I was working at the embassy, the handbook that they give to people when they start, it says, oh, people say good morning, good afternoon, people greet people here, like it's a normal thing. This is what they're telling people that are coming to the country. They say it like that's what people do, so people have that understanding of when you go into a room, you see people, you greet people. So I think that's one thing I would say. I think another thing is community. Try and find community. I think for me, like one of my biggest sources of community was church. Yeah, and like I had already like started before I came to Nigeria, again research. I had already started like looking at churches online. I had written like a couple of churches down that I was going to try. The first church I ended up being my church, and that was church I stayed till I left Lagos, which I really liked. And I think don't be afraid to do things by yourself. You don't always need like to go places with someone. Like if you really want to do something, go and do it by yourself. You might be lucky enough and meet someone there, and then you end up having like one of my closest friends now. I actually met her when I went for an art exhibition, and that's how we met. And literally like we're really good friends now. I was her bridesmaid at her wedding, everything. So yeah, I think like be open-minded. What else would I say?
I mean, you've dropped gems, man. You have dropped gems. I think even those 3 or 4 are a very good place to start, to be honest. So I suppose if there's anybody out there that is maybe like Ireti, there's a bit of a traveler, global citizen kind of vibes, you know.
Or someone that's just I think this your generation, you guys need to be audacious and try this thing.
Is a good person. And
step outside your comfort zone. Yeah.
Do you have like social media that you'd be happy for people to like?
Yeah, I do. So my main Instagram is Iretioluwa. I think it's A_OA. Honestly, I can't remember.
Anyway, we'll put it
but
on
you
the
guys
screen,
will put
right?
it. But it's Iretioluwa_O or something like that. That's on Instagram. I really pretty much use that, and then I have TikTok, which is Ireti Travels.
Exactly.
And I also have an Instagram, which is Ireti Travels as well. But yeah,
so that would be a good place to kind of get a glimpse into the different things you've done, and maybe give people ideas what they can do as well. So yes, I really, really hope that, you know, everybody has enjoyed watching or listening
to this Diaspora Diaries section.
Mom, do you want to do the outro?
No, you do.
Thank you so much.
Just that we need to know that this Diaspora Diary section,
Okay. So please do like the things that, you know, we ask you to do all the time. Subscribe, share, comment, like, give us a 5-star rating if you're listening.
Yes.
And yeah, if you are interested in Ireti's sort of travels and all the other things that she'd mentioned, then feel free to check out her social media. We are also at the Japada Pod on all social media, so please do follow. And I think that's it from us.
Yeah, and let the conversation continue
Yeah,
in the comment section.
absolutely.
Please.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's cheers to the Diaspora Diaries.
Yes.
Can we cheers? Can
And
you reach?
and to Ireti travels.
Yeah, and to Ireti travels, because honestly, that might be a brand sooner than you know.
Can we?
Cheers. Cheers, don't worry. We can do one.